You know that feeling, right? That sudden shiver, the tiny bumps that pop up on your skin, your hair standing on end. We all call them goosebumps, but have you ever stopped to think about what they really are? Well, today we're gonna dive deep into this super strange and ancient reflex to figure out exactly why it happens. Seriously, think about it for a second. When was the last time it happened to you? You know, that unmistakable prickling feeling on your arms or maybe the back of your neck. It's something we all experience, but what's wild is that the things that trigger it can be, well, all over the place. I mean, think about it. It could be an absolutely incredible song that hits you just right. Or maybe you just stepped into a really cold room. It could be an emotional scene in a movie, or even just a sudden scary moment. So that's the real puzzle here, isn't it? Why do these totally different things, cold, fear, even beauty, all trigger the exact same physical reaction? All right, so let's start unpacking this whole thing. Before we can get to the really cool evolutionary why, we first got to understand the simple mechanics, the how of what's actually happening on your skin. Okay, so here's the official kind of sciencey definition. The technical term is piloerection, which I know sounds complicated, but it literally just means hair standing up. It's just a temporary thing, a change on your skin that creates that bumpy texture. And yeah, it looks a bit like a plucked goose, which is exactly where the name comes from. And what's really cool is the tiny little engine that makes this all happen. See, attached to every single hair on your body is this itty-bitty muscle. It's called the erector pili. And when that muscle flexes or contracts, it pulls the hair straight up. Super simple, but kind of brilliant, right? Now here's a crucial piece of the puzzle. You can't decide to get goosebumps. Go ahead, try it. You can't. The whole reaction is completely automatic. It's all run by your autonomic nervous system. That's the same backstage crew in your brain that's taking care of your heartbeat, your breathing, all the stuff you never have to consciously think about. Okay, so we know the how, now it's time for the big why. And to get to the bottom of this mystery, we have to do a little time traveling. Way, way back, to a time when our ancestors were a whole lot, well, hairier. And this really gets to the heart of it. Think about it. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors basically had a full coat of fur. Now, fast forward to today, and we're not so furry. And that one huge evolutionary shift is the whole reason goosebumps seem so strange and kind of useless to us now. So back in the day, getting goosebumps wasn't just some weird feeling. It was a legit survival tool. For us now, it's basically a fascinating biological echo, a little ghost of a function that used to serve two incredibly important purposes. So what were these ancient superpowers? Well, first up was warmth. When all that hair stood up on end, it would trap a little layer of air right next to the skin, and that acted like a natural, built-in puffy jacket for insulation. And superpower number two, defense. You know how a cat puffs up its fur when it's scared? Same idea. Making their hair stand up made our ancestors look bigger, scarier, and way more intimidating to predators. Okay, so the warmth thing totally explains why we get them when we're cold, but that doesn't explain the scary movie, right? Or that amazing song. So let's jump back to the present and figure out why this ancient survival reflex is still so deeply wired into our modern emotions. And the connection here is something you've probably heard of, the fight or flight response. This is your body's primal, totally hardwired reaction whenever it thinks there's a threat. And here's the thing, your ancient brain doesn't really know the difference between a real danger and, say, a jump scare in a movie. It just kicks into gear like it's the real deal. So here's the play-by-play. Your brain senses danger and bam, it floods your system with adrenaline. Your heart starts racing, you feel super alert, and as part of that whole chain reaction, those tiny erector pili muscles, they contract. It's literally your body getting ready for a fight that, isn't actually gonna happen. All right, so the fear thing makes sense. That connects right back to that ancient look bigger defense mechanism. But now we get to the part that is just so fascinating. Why in the world would listening to a beautiful song trigger a response that was originally designed to deal with predators and freezing temperatures? Well, believe it or not, there's actually a word for this, frisson. It's a French word that basically means a sudden thrill or a shiver. And scientists use it to talk about those aesthetic chills, the ones we get from amazing art or music or just a really powerful moving moment. It's a physical reaction to something that's purely emotional. So what's happening is when you hear a song that just gets you, it literally lights up the emotional and reward centers in your brain. Your brain unleashes this rush of dopamine, that's the famous feel-good chemical. And your body, well, it kind of interprets this intense emotional high in the same way it would interpret a sudden shock or a big thrill. And that's what pulls the trigger on the goosebumps. And I just love this way of thinking about it. It really captures the feeling perfectly. Doesn't matter if it's fear or awe or just pure beauty, goosebumps are basically your body's version of a physiological exclamation point. It's your body physically saying, whoa, pay attention. This moment right here is important. So as we start to put all these pieces together, it becomes pretty clear that goosebumps are so much more than just some useless evolutionary leftover, right? They're actually this living, breathing connection to our ancient past and a pretty cool window into what's going on with us emotionally. Yeah, this really sums it up perfectly. The modern goosebump isn't just one thing. It's more like a cocktail, right? It's a mix of our evolutionary history, our basic response to cold, our reaction to fear, and what's maybe the coolest part, our very human ability to feel deep, powerful emotion. So when you really boil it all down, what are goosebumps? They're pretty much your body talking directly to you. It's a form of communication that completely bypasses your conscious brain. It's just a raw, physical signal that tells you you're experiencing something powerful, whether that's a threat out there in the world or just a huge emotional wave on the inside. And that's really the big takeaway here. The next time you feel that familiar prickle on your skin, just for a second, don't just ignore it. Pause and ask yourself, what's going on? Am I cold? Am I a little scared? Or am I maybe just experiencing something truly beautiful? What is my body trying to tell me in this very moment?